Today marking 20 years since Hurricane Charley made landfall in Punta Gorda. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Paul Legron.
And I'm Wendy Ryan. Like many other storms, Hurricane Charley was supposed to be our storm, but it wasn't. In this special report tonight, ABC Action News reporter Michael Paluska takes us back 2 decades to the very moments an unforgettable storm devastated parts of Florida.
Hurricane Charley hit well before the age of social media. There was no digital video. Everything was captured on beta tape. So we hit the archives here at ABC Action News, sat down with Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips and former ABC Action News reporter Don Germaise, who was in the eye of this terrifying Cat 4 storm. And what they captured on video was simply incredible.
It was absolutely frightening to stand there and to do that report. I will never forget the feel of all of that happening. And as I'm talking, my photog pans away and you can see the roof blowing off while I'm talking. That will never, ever leave my mind.
And this would be at 8 p.m. And I'll show you where I'm placing this right over Tampa Bay.
This was going to be the one, the big one. If that does indeed happen, then we are looking at a near miss.
Were you scared for them?
I was, yeah. And not only that, we weren't just scared for the wind, we were concerned about the surge, which ironically enough, Charley ended up not having a ton of surge. The forecast for us was literally 12 to 16 foot in the mouth of Tampa Bay.
You said a 12-foot storm surge that didn't come to fruition, but it did with Hurricane Ian and Fort Myers Beach. If you would have had that 12-foot storm surge, you may not be sitting here across from me today.
That's true. And that's why you always have to take proper precautions. I know my photographer, Tim Jones, got hit in the head once by a little small piece of something, but there were boards flying by us all the time. So we dodged a lot of bullets. I was the very first reporter ever hired when ABC Action News went on the air back in 1994.
You won't find a lot of Don Germaise's work on YouTube. His award-winning stories are on beta tapes, collecting dust on the shelves of the ABC Action News archives. But we digitize them, bringing them back to life.
The Schofield's house is only about 5 or 6 feet above sea level. If this storm comes up the harbor, they know they're in trouble.
We're screwed. That's it. We're done. I mean, this will be gone. We're done.
His reporting stands the test of time because the monsters of the past continue to stalk the present and haunt our future. Do you dream about this storm?
I have nightmares about all hurricanes. People say, wow, you look like you're having fun in the hurricanes. I always hated covering hurricanes. It looked like I was having fun because I don't want to portray fear. My daughter was watching me on TV, and I don't want her to see me being afraid. But they're scary hurricanes. You don't take them lightly.
I woke up that morning, I left my house, and I didn't think my house was going to be there when I went home.
Of course, we're going to be talking more about what buzz has been out there in social media about the next tropical system. It's all coming up in a couple of minutes.
Dennis Phillips' trademark suspenders were born during Hurricane Charley, and viewers saw him as the one to trust. Is it easier now to forecast a track, or is it pretty much the same? You never know if it's going to wobble.
Those last-minute turns are still practically impossible to predict, and Charley was one of those.
20 years ago, with less technology than we have today, Phillips called it live on air.
And as we see this, we are looking at the strong potential of a storm that is changing its path. 6 hours before landfall, the Hurricane Center still had an official track that was bringing a Cat 4 right into the Tampa Bay area.
So now the National Weather Center is picking up on what Dennis told us about 20 or 30 minutes ago.
Within a matter of a half hour, 45 minutes, we started to see the change. I was watching it closely and pulled the trigger and went with that it was going to stay south.
And when Dennis Phillips told us the storm's coming straight to you, we stopped covering the storm and we went door to door knocking on the hotel room doors to tell people they have to evacuate. That to me was the most important thing we did in my entire hurricane career, is to move 100 or 200 people out of harm's way.
This is the Holiday Inn in Punta Gorda. This is all that's left of it. The roof was blown off. Some of the walls are blown off. Hundreds of people who were here evacuated just about an hour or two before the storm hit and did all this incredible damage.
I will never forget the hotel owner coming back the next day and saying, thank you, you saved so many lives. and that made me feel kind of good.
In Tampa with photojournalist Reed Moeller, Michael Paluska, ABC Action News.